Hello everybody and welcome to another match in the Link to the Past Randomizer Spoiler Tournament. We've got coolpapabell2282 versus oase28. This is the scoring of 2-2. In the commentary booth with me is Clear Mouse. Say hello everybody.
Hi, Claremont. Hi, Ricky. How's it going, everyone? Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this match. These guys are fantastic runners. I expect great execution and routing from both of them. And in fact, Oase, in a previous spoiler tournament match, he did the entire seed with.
Yikes. Okay, yeah. That's a skill I do not have. Alright. So for Lamp and Sanctuary, which is very nice. No need to worry about dark rooms. For those not familiar with Spoiler Tournament, about 15 minutes ago, both runners were given the spoiler log, which lists all 216 item locations and what is at those locations. They had 15 minutes to figure out what they needed and possibly route out a way to get everything efficiently. Now the race has started. They still have the log open. They can look at it from time to time to verify things, but this is mostly a game of execution and how well they could connect the dots.
So far, no route divergence from either runner, dropping down into the Lost Woods hideout to pick up a heart container, which is certainly very early on is a very nice safety to have. 4 hearts are always better than 3 hearts.
Very much. You also notice from time to time the runner's movement gets a bit like, okay, why are they pushing against the tree? That's because they're looking at the log. It's very hard to read the log and navigate at the same time.
Alright, so of course, right after said there is no route divergence, we see a route divergence, albeit very slightly. Oase is making his way into Blind's hideout, presumably getting something here. coolpapabell's dropping into the well. Both locations has a bombable wall, and how fortunate of the game to put in bombs right before the bombable wall.
coolpapabell picking up a sword and 2 pieces of heart, while Oase gets the flute in the back of Blind's hut.
It's always nice to see the flute here in Kakariko. That means you only need to make 1 trip.
Yes.
Alright, so as these runners are kind of like swapping locations, as Ricky mentioned, that these guys have access to the spoiler log through the entirety of the race, which means that the likelihood of them doing a map check to tell us where the pendants and crystals are is going to be very low. So as a convenience, our tracker, Vince Eater, has graciously marked all of the pendants and crystals on each other's map tracker.
Interesting here, in the bottom of the well, there was the shield that Oase picked up, but coolpapabell skipped.
Do we think this is a laser bridge turtle rock foreshadowing here?
I don't think they're gonna look for the other 2 shields. Probably do laser skip, which I find really difficult, but a lot of other people don't.
Alright, so we actually do see coolpapabell here, sticking his sword out with, and it's a very small time-saving technique. So actually, if you do that, you actually see that when coolpapabell called the duck to take him away, it actually came a little bit faster because you can bypass the 6-second delay right after you activate it. So certainly gaining a little bit of time there on Oase. Also, as an indication, that probably means that there was nothing else of value that they wanted in Kakariko.
Right.
Our uncle had a very important piece of Darkhold access, which is the Moon Pearl. And we did see Oase picking up an extra set of arrows, so this certainly could come in handy when they end up picking up the bow.
both making their way to the dungeon of Hyrule Castle.
Hey, speaking of the bow.
And it looks like that's all there is here in Hyrule Castle. The bow and the moon pearl.
Alright, so we see potentially a little bit more divergence. coolpapabell is opting to kind of stay in this area, or he wants to flute away. Oase is saving and quitting. Presumably we'll go somewhere else. And so certainly as of a few days ago, when the latest version of the randomizer patch was released, they ended up fixing the save and quit delay. So runners are happily saving and quitting, without kind of incurring like the extra 2.5-3 second delay every time.
Right, I am kind of curious if coolpapabell did the death warp out of habit. Well, Oasis did the save and quit. Let's go to find out what's in the back of Sahasrah's closet.
Alright, so we see our first bottle. That could mean that also Sitkid has something. Bottle in general is just very nice to have as a safety. We might even be able to see a bug net pickup, to kind of go along with that bottle so they can catch fairies. I'm always hopeful, but I don't know if these runners, have that need for it.
Oh wow, we've got basically Sync going into Eastern Palace.
So these guys do have the bow. They do have the lamp for convenience. I'm sure these guys can do the Eastern and Dark Rooms if they really needed to, but in this case they don't have to. And Eastern is a crystal, so I would certainly not be surprised if we see both runners clear out their first crystal in this trip. Alright, so we actually do see that Oase picking up the big key here, which means that they do not actually have to go into the dark room if there's not like a necessary item. It was always kind of nice. That means they can actually skip a relatively good portion of the dungeon if they need to. Oase, very, very talented NMG runner, should have probably very well practiced here in Eastern Palace. We actually do see both runners now picking up the hook shot, also very, very great item to have. Not only is it defensive, it can stun enemies, can also be used for movement to grab onto, let's say, like signs or anything to kind of like help save a couple, maybe like a couple frames or seconds here and there.
Very nice of the Seed to let them do Eastern Palace in one fell swoop. No double dipping here. Oase starting up his Armos Knights fight. Looking to do the quick kill strats. Wow, and gets it.
It's a true sign of a very well-practiced runner here. coolpapabell right on Oase's heels, also looking to do a quick kill. Looks like a slightly different setup. Very reminiscent of the Ice Armos quick kill setup here.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, both runners have their first crystals down under the 10-minute mark. Certainly very impressive here. Looks like Oase wants to buy a blue potion, given that he has a good surplus of money. He can certainly afford it. Also, probably an indication here that Zoro most likely doesn't have something, unless they're going to go pick up, say, like, you know, either like more rupees later, or, you know, there's like another 300 kind of like, you know, like in some convenient spot. Alright, so from the looks of it, perhaps we will not get to see our senior citizen companion here up on the mountain. Small divergence here. Oh, or maybe Oase just kind of changed his mind later on. So looks like both runners want to head to East Death Mountain for something. Perhaps, you know, given that Hera is a pendant, maybe there's just nothing of value there. Oh, they also don't, or rather, there is also maybe nothing on a Spectacle Rock, because they don't have the mirror to get to Hera.
Right. Both runners look like they're going to do a full clear of Paradox Cave, get some supplies.
Yeah. So far, I think in these, you know, like 5-item dense caves, I think we saw coolpapabell maybe skip one of them. It really kind of depends on runners' preferences here. Some runners just say, oh, okay, there is something important in the well, in Paradox Cave. Okay, I'm just going to, you know, cherry pick my way along. In this case, we see coolpapabell picking up 300 rupees and a sword. And we see kind of like Oase just picking up kind of like the gamut. And, you know, as it certainly could, you know, work out. It's, you know, very little time, extra cost to kind of pick up the extra chest. You kind of never really know when some of these, you know, maybe like, you know, junk items like 20 rupees or like 10 arrows can like really kind of come out and like help you out later.
So coolpapabell just did a saving quit and is going straight up to Aga Tower. Oase, however, is continuing up Death Mountain. And going into Spiral Cave.
Well, whatever's here in Spiral Cave looks like it's not needed for Aga Tower. Oh, interesting. A safety. I mean, so the cape certainly will help you get into Aga Tower, but not required because these guys have the Master Sword. So perhaps Oase just thinks that, you know, he wants the safety, or maybe there's something on Bumper Ledge later, and this is going to be the most convenient time for him to get it.
Oase now making his way up Western Death Mountain.
Looks like Oase changed his mind when he by the time he got into the mountain. Also looks like headed to Aga Tower as potential you know, maybe as Zelda pointed out in chat, perhaps Oase wanted to do Spike Cave, but there is a small caveat, you know, that you cannot do Spike Cave without a glove or a hammer. You know, at least the fact that this, you know, is an Agassi, because it looks like, you know, we don't really have either glove or hammer before we're attempting to make our way to the Dark World. You know, it's always nicer to have runners have the Master Sword take on Aga Tower as opposed to a Fire Sword in a cape. coolpapabell was on the verge of death. I don't believe his bottle had anything that could help him revive, but looks like at least he'll be able to make his way to Aghanim with some health later. Coincidentally, this is about the set of equipment that you would have in terms of damage output and weaponry and safety for an NMG run. So I certainly would not expect Oase to have too many issues here, given his abilities for NMG runs. All right, and as we see, Cool Papa Bell taking on Aghanim. Hey, so far it looks pretty good in terms of number of blue balls.
How many have we seen so far? I missed it.
So I have seen none so far from
nice.
but I think I might have missed the first one because I think I started watching after he did at least 3 shots. But I mean, certainly looked like a very fast Aga fight here.
Yeah, very nice. Alright then, let's see what's on the pyramid, if it even is anything. And, oh, looks like they're gonna go for it.
Yeah, chat, thank you for confirming that it was indeed a 0 blue ball. certainly very happy to see them both runners.
So Cool Papa Bell picks up the flippers.
We're gonna take those flippers, we're gonna go straight into pod, where there's lots of swim and do. Alright, so I think thanks to the plentiful amount of money that Cool Papa Bell has picked up, and the fact that he did not make a pit stop over to the potion shop to buy anything, he has more than enough money to pay off Kiki here. Needs 10 rupees to get Kiki to follow him, and then another 100 rupees here to open the door.
Ose finishing up Aga gets his flippers. It's hot on Cool Papa Bell's heels.
Now, we do see on the tracker here that this is that the Pile of Darkness is a pendant. And they certainly don't have the hammer yet, so they can't finish it if they wanted to. But certainly there could be items of progression here. And if they happen to find the hammer here, they could full clear it, including beating Helma. Navigating pod without a mirror is always a little bit, it makes you appreciate having the mirror more.
Indeed.
As we're traversing through pod here, we're just littered with key after key. This is how pod is normally laid out. There are 4 small keys in the front. Oh look, Cool Papa Bell finds a hammer pretty close to his vanilla location. My guess is that death was intentional from Oase. He wanted death bolt to the beginning. The things you have to do without a mirror. Hey, speaking of which, that's
there it is.
Well, yeah, I guess it's a better late than never mirror, right? even though we finished like all of pod, and then it happens to be like the item right as you exit the dungeon.
So coolpapabell gets the mirror and hammer out of pod and is going straight for a swim in Dark Lake, or not Dark Lake Hylia, now mirroring to Lake Hylia. And gets the Bombos Medallion, which is the opener for Meyer. Pendant Meyer.
So certainly we knew that the flippers were going to be required because Swamp Palace is a crystal, but in this case, I guess it's doubly required because we need to visit Hobo, and even I know that most runners can certainly fake flipper to Hobo, but given that these guys have to kind of like walk through the pyramid, it's certainly a heads up play for both runners to visit Hobo more efficiently once they have the flippers.
On coolpapabell's side, we see Cancer Maria and the glove in Hype Cave.
Finding that Cane of Samaria before Crystal Ice Palace, always a good feeling. We did see that Oase ended up picking up the red boomerang. I'm not sure if they specifically require that item, just in terms of completion or their ability to I guess like defeat the rest of the run. But that boomerang actually can be quite convenient for menuing. I'll say it's on one heart here, has to be a little bit careful. He does have a blue potion, but no one really likes to start over here or burn that blue potion.
Yes, chat pointing out Ose is gunning for Spike Cave yet again. Very determined to get this.
Yes, I mean, so this time, with a hammer, with a glove, with a potion, with a cape. Ideally, he would like to fight a fairy here, but maybe he's going to try again. This time, hopefully, he will make it his way not only into Spike Cave, but to the end of it.
coolpapabell, meanwhile, is diving into Swamp Palace.
Having the Cane of Samaria here for Swamp Palace is also convenient. Some players, I think, prefer the cane setup for Diver Down. I'm not sure like which one prefers, but I guess we'll see. Hey, that's a pretty important piece of progression.
Titan's Mitts.
So as I guess we've seen, outside of the Moon Pearl, we found the hammer in Palace of Darkness, we found a glove in Pipe Cave, and we found the other glove in Spike Cave. So all three, in this case, Dark World access items were actually in the Dark World. So Aghanim was 100%, or in this case, 300% required.
Ose getting nailed by the dead rocks and cabbages. They are not being nice today. And another dead rock trying to snipe.
If nothing else, he still does have a cape at his disposal and a little bit of magic. So, you know, push comes to shove, he at least has a little bit of invisibility left. Hopefully he won't need it, you know, at least through this trip up Superman Cave. Alright, so we see on coolpapabell's side, he is doing diver down with the Cane of Stamar, picking up, hey, the bug net, you know, I would say certainly underrated item here, especially in the spoiler log race, and another safety for container. Alright, so with the Master Sword, it looks like coolpapabell will need to, in this case, do spin slashes. He can get, and that'll kill him one hit, maybe he can grab on a couple ones, or he can always slash at each pup twice. As compared to Oase, who picked up a third sword on in a hookshot cave, he will have an easier or at least faster time here against Argus, because the pus will die in this case to one slash as opposed to two.
Wait, what is he?
What's up?
That was an interesting decision on Ose's part. Where is he going now? Okay, I guess... I think that was one of those moments where he realized last second, oh, wait a minute, and now he's headed back.
Oh, as in he flew it away too early? Is that what happened?
Yeah. Because, yeah. coolpapabell finishing up Swamp Palace. Gets his second crystal. Let's see if Ose does what I think. Yep. Okay. Well, that could have been worse. I've done that or save and quit so many times.
I'm sure that this item is incredibly important.
I mean, it's just the boots.
Who needs boots these days? Certainly a fan favorite item here. So with these newfound boots, Oase can do many things. Looks like the first thing he wants to do is get off that mountain, because he was there like 5 different times now so far.
Yeah, probably sick of the mountain already.
Something. Oh, interesting. Picking up the powder. So powder is always a really nice safety to have. Can turn anti-fairies into fairies. Can nullify dead rocks. And also opens up, because they have the hammer, can open up magic back.
coolpapabell going to Spiral Cave, gonna pick up the magic cape. Which, I mean, he has the mirror. He could have just done Hookshot Cave, get the boots, and then come back into Spiral Cave with the boots.
Yeah, maybe he was worried that he wasn't have enough health in Spiral Cave. And I think on Oase's side, was that our both runners' first visit to Mini Moldorm Cave?
Yes. Yeah, before
yeah.
the ice rod, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, typically, like you see, you see these very dense, like 5-item location caves, like very, very early on. But I guess in this case, probably, I guess it just had an ice rod. Given that TR is a crystal, we certainly need it. But certainly, if they're not going to beat, TR until quite late in the game, let's say, ideally, there's really no reason for you to have to grab it early.
Does Ose have the fire rod? No, he does not.
It looks like he is going to go back and get that fire rod right now.
Yeah, you skipped a step.
Yeah, I mean, like these runners are are juggling like 15 different things at once.
Yeah, yeah.
It's incredibly easy to just forget that. Oh yeah, I need to do step 17 before 18. Oh no, coolpapabell.
Oof.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. Not terrible. Just in terms of time loss. But like a death on the overworld is it never feels that great for morale.
No, it does not.
I think maybe what happened is I know he tried to activate the cave, but like its activation time I think is slightly longer than like
There's a delay.
Yeah, so probably just like it was just like a missed time.
There's the fire rod on Magic Bat. So now Ose can go to Skull Woods.
Yeah, I can certainly understand Oase basically beelining for the boots. As soon as as soon as he was able to. I mean, you can see that overworld movement is just cut down by so much.
Yeah.
You have spin speed, you can dash, you can hook speed, you can sword speed, you can whatever you want to do. coolpapabell certainly being a bit more conservative here, activating his cape a little bit early. Or than before. I think he uses his potion.
Careful. Okay, wow, made it.
All right. All right. Getting his Titan's mitts. Probably gonna save him for also maybe another trip up the mountain to get his boots, or maybe he wants to do something else.
Oh, I did not know that. In Spike Cave, there are no spikes behind the torches. Interesting. Ose making his way through Thieves Town. coolpapabell about to get their ice rod in Moldorm Cave.
Yeah, I guess maybe Oase figured that that was a very nice dash through that hallway there. Like that. I guess like once he was kind of in the area of Village of Outcasts, he may as well do Thieves Town, most likely en route to Skullwoods again.
Also, I missed it, so just fill me in. Did Ose go to the camper to get Bombos, or no? I know coolpapabell did.
Oase has not visited the hobo to get Bombos yet.
Okay.
In fact, after he exited Pod and got after he exited Pod, right, he was making his way south. He explicitly did not stop by. He can certainly stop by. He can swim there later. Maybe he's planning on water walking or water dashing, I guess. Hopefully he doesn't forget. Alright, so we do see some more divergence here. coolpapabell making his way into the Mire area. So we see that Mire is in fact another pendant, and he can get in with his Bombos medallion, as we had just mentioned, whereas Oase will need to go visit Hobo before he can gain entry.
Right, so we're gonna find out what's in Mire.
So coolpapabell does have the Cane of Samaria, and he does have the lamp as convenience to do the dark room basement if he needs to. So he is able to full clear this place if he so chooses. Alright, meanwhile, Oase is taking on blind. Maybe, Galaxy Brain planning, for Moase here. He has the fire shield when he fights blind, so that is a very nice safety to deflect all the fireballs that blind shoots at him.
And a very nicely done scripted fight. Blind goes down with no problem.
Okay, coolpapabell finding one of our 2 items here in Maya, which is another heart container. Oase finding our 4th sword, not something you often see in spoiler log races. But given that he has only actually defeated just one crystal dungeon out of at least 6 crystal dungeons and potentially more pendant dungeons, it'll help him out. I'm sorry, go ahead.
We just got game audio.
Oh, super! I wonder if either of these runners will do a celebration slash in our honor. Alright, looks like coolpapabell picking up the other item, which is the Ether Medallion. So require dip for sure into Mire because TR's entry is Ether. Also very convenient routing here by coolpapabell. Desert Palace is a crystal. He has all the necessary requirements to beat the dungeon. Oase showing off he can dash with the fire rod as well. You can also see some potentially some muscle member here on Oase's side, slashing that Gibdo into the spike. So actually, in this particular case, because he has the gold sword, it'll still only do or need 2 slashes with the gold sword anyway. But if you have anything other than the gold sword, the spike damage is certainly a lot better than whatever you have slashing at him.
Mothula hugging the spikes a little too much over here. There we go.
So, Oase is teetering always on 1 to 2 hearts here, keeping us on the edge of our seats, of course. But, we should always just believe in Oase because, he just doesn't know how to die.
coolpapabell making his way through the back of Desert Palace. Gets lasered in the back.
Ooh, lesser seen Ice Rod Landmo.
Interesting.
Yeah, the Ice Rod does the same amount of damage as the Fire Rod. It's just the timing is slightly different. So if you're used to Fire Rod strats basically shooting and hitting these guys immediately, you have to kind of change your timing slightly if you want to use the Ice Rod as effectively. Not that these Lambo were really cooperating much with coolpapabell. I think I saw at least 2 Lambo do some quick hops. That certainly does not help things.
No. But down go Lamolas. That's coolpapabell's 3rd crystal. Both runners are tied in terms of crystal count, while Oase is diving into Swamp Palace. At this point, coolpapabell still needs both of the rods, and Oase needs both of the medallions.
Yeah, it certainly does look, you know, like both runners have different, looks like they took pretty different approaches here to the seed. Oh, hey, oh my gosh, are we gonna get a, a magic bat check without the powder? This is I mean I think this is quite clever on coolpapabell's side. I mean I don't even think this occurred to me. So what you can do here is if you have the Cane of Samaria and no magic, what you can do is you can activate the Cane of Samaria and then immediately switch to the mushroom, and that will activate as if you were powdering something.
Samaria breaks the game so much.
That is amazing. And for what it's worth, you can also do this with the powder as well. It's just whatever is in that like mushroom powder Y location, item location. So it's always kind of cool to see, you know, you can fake powder, but it is 100% legit strat if you are out of magic and it is a safety for you. So actually, this means that coolpapabell, if he so chooses, he does not have to visit Ice Rock Cave.
Exactly, yes. Is going to have to fill up that magic, though. But that shouldn't be too difficult.
Alright, so with the boots and with the gold sword, let's see if Lassie was trying to get a quick kill here. Oh man.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Super wow. Like, Lassie. so good at this game. Oh my gosh, yes. I mean, so that was certainly a 0-second arc. It's incredibly difficult to do, execution-wise. Also does require some amount of RNG favor. But anyway, when you see it, that is you know, pinnacle of how you can take down Arcus. Looks like Oase potentially wanted to go visit the Bombos tablet, but then decided to flute to ice.
Well, he doesn't have the book, so he couldn't do the Bombos tablet.
It's like Oase is considering his options potentially, or maybe looking at the spoiler log to see, you know, where things are in Ice Palace, or if he can just go mode this dungeon. Alright, so looks like we will most likely not be seeing Icebreaker today. We will be seeing the more classic Ice Palace bomb jump from Oase here.
Interesting.
So yeah, perhaps there is something that he wants on another side of Ice Palace that will make things slightly less convenient if he doesn't do Icebreaker. I guess we will see what he ends up getting. Maybe we won't end up seeing Ice Palace bomb jump here because Oase doesn't have any more bombs.
Oh dear.
All right, that is unfortunate.
I mean, not the biggest deal. Yeah.
Do we think Oase can hover?
Oh. Oh, okay.
Who needs the classic Ice Palace bomb jump when you have the boots?
I mean, technically, he has Cane of Samaria. He didn't need to do the Ice Palace bomb jump at all. He could just drop into the hole and use Samaria. Well, actually, not necessarily. He would need the big key. It's been a long time since I've done it that way.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly could be, you know, based on maybe some other chest or something that he wants to get here in Ice Palace.
Cool Papa Bell, meanwhile, takes down Blind, gets his 4th crystal.
All right, we're gonna see this powder being put to use here. I was gonna say, well, is Oase gonna grace us with another like 2-heart boss kill? Alright, so he does need to land all 8 fire rod shots here. He has Gold Sword. Yeah, he has Gold Sword, so Cold Sword's firepower should not be an issue. Yeah. So probably, you know, in terms of game balance, there's probably a reason why you're not expected to have the Gold Sword here. But, you know, Cold Sword goes down, no problems. Didn't even need the fairy. I don't know what he was thinking going back.
Safety, most likely. I mean, dying to Cold Stare is one of the worst things, because you have to go all the way back through Ice Palace.
Yeah, so dying to Cold Stare, I guess it maybe depends on when you end up dying, but most likely, if you know, when you die after the shell's been broken, you've most likely used up all your fire rod shots and your entire magic meter. So then, like, if you end up dying and you need to go back through Ice Palace, you need to go find magic first before you can pass the first room. Yep. That can actually be quite costly. So Oase now picking up Bombos, so now he can gain entrance to Mire, which then can let him gain access into Turtle Rock. What a fetch pendant medallion quest here. Alright, see, Cool Papa Bell taking on Mocula. Looks like he took intentional damage, I want to say, on that spike, so maybe to get rid of the sword beams?
Potentially. The sword beams are incredibly weak and irritating. Needs to be careful, though. Okay, good.
Now we see Oase in Mire 2 with sword beams. I think that Cool Papa Bell at the time didn't have. Certainly, probably one of the best rooms to have sword beam for. You can defeat this room very quickly with fire rod and sword beams. So, not sure if Oase is going to pick up the heart container, but he certainly is going to pick up Ether.
Nope, no heart container. Just going straight for Ether. Cool Papa Bell heading to Ice Palace.
It was also a pretty convenient routing from Oase to do Mire right after another dungeon. In this case, he beat Ice Palace first. Guaranteed to have magic for entry to activate the medallion.
Right.
So we see Oase here in Desert Palace, just picked up the big key, so most likely will make his way to Landmo. He will have significantly faster time here than Cool Papa Bell did, given that he has the gold sword, he has the fire rod, He also does have the ice rod. I don't imagine him probably taking as long a time.
Cool Papa Bell doing the icebreaker.
Oh, was that first try?
I think it was, yes.
Okay, so that's actually interesting. The fact that coolpapabell is choosing the icebreaker, because I mean, it really does seem like it does save a significant more time. But so maybe that's something that we can ask oase if that's something he was comfortable with. So coolpapabell almost succumbing to hammering the second set of pegs, but because we're doing icebreaker here, you're going through the dungeon backwards, and so you don't actually need to go over there and pull the tongue, unless you, I guess, specifically want to get whatever is in that chest in that room.
One possible reason oase didn't do the icebreaker was maybe to preserve his magic. Just in case.
That's true. We see oase here with bow strats. Oh man, she's really showing off these NMG. Oh my gosh, that
yeah.
oase, like I almost feel like it was it's almost wasted on rando as opposed to an NMG run, but I mean certainly very, very impressive here.
Alright, and with that, oase just has Turtle Rock left, and then GT. Cool Papa Bell is taking on Cold Stare, and once Cold Stare's down, I also just have Turtle Rock.
Coolpapabell needs to be a little careful.
Yes.
I think he can get hit by one.
Okay.
But not
Okay, good.
All right. Despite the fact that coolpapabell has 9 hearts at his disposal, I mean, he's still in like green mail. Like Cold Stare is probably one of those like false sense of security things. Like Cold Stare blue mail does a ton of damage, and like suddenly you're like, oh no, I'm only like really, 1 hit away from death, as opposed to I have 9 hearts. How bad could it be?
oase gets dead rocked. There we go. Yeah, and with Cool Papa Bell climbing the mountain for the last time, as oase enters TR, it definitely, oase getting those boots, even if it did require an extra trip up the mountain because of a too quick flute, it definitely helped him save time.
Oh, yeah, I definitely think in this case, oase's routing to get boots earlier than coolpapabell certainly did help them a lot in terms of just saving time. We actually see, so it wasn't necessarily strictly all of the dashing that oase did, but it was a lot of some like all the other things that boots let you do, like spin speed, for example. Yeah, I think other than movement, though, boots did not look like they were logically required. We didn't see anything in Kingston or Bonk Rocks, or at least like nothing that these runners like neither of the locations these runners visited.
Right. Yeah, not logically required.
Yeah, and Desert wasn't this locked either. Certainly it still could be that the GT big key is on the torch because we haven't got to GT yet, and looks like coolpapabell is most likely to pick up his boots here. But yeah, certainly before GT we didn't need them. Of course, it's always really nice to have them. This game isn't always about necessity.
Cool Papa Bell picking up his 4th sword. And is heading to the back to get the boots off the floating island. Yeah, definitely seeing Ose's play of getting the swords and boots as early as possible definitely paid off.
Yeah, he had a lot more firepower when he had more firepower going into land mode, but he still used bow strats. Kudos to Ase. But we did see that he had faster Argus kill, had zero cycle, which I'm not sure is. Oh yeah, and especially compared to Cool Papa Bell, who just had the Master Sword and no boots. You know, it was certainly zero cycle is always faster than not zero cycle.
Alright, Cool Papa Bell entering Turtle Rock. Oase approaching Laser Bridge.
Both of these runners still on green mail. Yeah, chain trons, rollers, they're not nice to you.
No, they're not.
Alright, so I guess we won't be seeing any laser skips on Oase's side because he is just going to skip Laser Bridge entirely.
The ultimate laser skip.
Is this what happens when 4 laser skips become 1?
Oof.
Yeah, you know, like it's certainly a good thing that Cool Papa has all these hearts. I mean, from the looks of it, he could take one more hit. I think Oase, when he was there at the time, he did not have that luxury.
And down goes Trinix on Oase's side. That is their 7th crystal. So at this point, normally in a non-spoiler race, we would do the GT Big Key guessing game. But since, you know, the runners know where the key is, instead we're going to play an alternate game where guess the location for the GT Big Key.
And both runners were able to save Turtle Rock as their last crystal. This certainly does save another mountain climb. It's always convenient. Ideally, you would do Hera last. You know, I assume you had access to Dark World and a mirror. But certainly, you know, coming from Turtle Rock, it's just a fast dash away. Alright, so we see Oase heading left. Sorry, torch goers, it is not on the torch today. So it looks like nothing in Stalfo's room that he wants. Oase making certainly very good use of this red boomerang. I think you know as an NMG runner, you probably just have access to the blue boomerang when you're here. But you know certainly he's able to adapt to use the shinier boomerang. Alright, it looks like he doesn't want anything in Rando room either. Meanwhile, coolpapabell is taking down Trinex with Gold Sword, and yeah, with Gold Sword, this should, I think, not be too big of an issue for him as well. Should be a very fast fight. Well, it's not going to be Bob's torch because we certainly don't have access to it. Or Bob's chest, not Bob's torch. So it looks like it'll be something behind Ice Almost here. coolpapabell taking down Trinex, no problems. He has his 7th crystal, and he will be on his way to GT. Meanwhile, I looked away for 2 seconds, and oase has already defeated Ice Armos. And has found the big key in its very, very close to vanilla location. I believe it's in the upper right this time.
Oase, you need another key.
We will see when oase notices.
Uh-oh.
It is certainly possible that there is another key in upstairs GT, like in one of the chests.
This is true.
So like this certainly could be planned. I certainly hope that it's planned because if it's not, I'm thinking very positive thoughts for you, oase, to go back downstairs and get a key.
Let's see.
Meanwhile, as you mentioned, coolpapabell is stopping by Hope Room to get, I guess, a sure key that we now know about before his climb. Just in terms of the seeds routing, while there were, I guess, so we did have to dip a lot of different dungeons, almost due to all dungeons because we didn't have to go to Hera. Like just in terms of routing though, I would say even for a spoiler log, there were significantly more steps involved to get a valid or somewhat cohesive path to get all the progression items.
So as soon as coolpapabell starts his way up the gauntlet, we'll go ahead and tell you all where the silver arrows were.
Looks like oase is not going to grace us with a second bow landmo. Yeah, certainly having boots for the climb. I think even if they were maybe out of the way, it also could just be it could be worth it to potentially even go out of your way to get boots because doing the gauntlet climb without boots is significantly harder than you might think it is. Granted, doing the gauntlet climb even with the boots is still pretty difficult. Not that oase is making it look that way. He's just incredibly well practiced. This is like years of experience showing.
coolpapabell finishing off the Ice Armos with Butter Sword slashes.
Alright, we did see oase on that torch room.
Oh, there's a small key, okay.
Yeah, on the torch room, he looks like he did not have enough magic to use a fire rod shot, but as he had demonstrated, you technically can actually light the focus with the lamp.
Okay, so with Moldorm 2 down and oase heading up to Aga 2, the silver arrows were on the Bombos tablet. We all saw oase try to go get that, but he couldn't because he didn't have the book. The Book of Medora is in the rando room of GT. So that wasn't happening.
Oh, coolpapabell. Oh, we might be able to see a mimic clip here. I'm not sure. You know,
Oh,
I
no.
looked slightly away very quickly. I'm not sure what happened to his arrows. But if he can do Mimic Clip, I think this is a bonus treat for us viewers.
Yeah, if he doesn't get lasered. Oof. And Aga 2 is down. Ose is about to face off against Ganon.
Alright, it looks like coolpapabell is going to try and hopefully get some arrows in one of these chests. I mean, he does have the spoiler log, so maybe he does know one of these chests has arrows. Oh, that is unfortunate. But it's not like too much time to get back to this room if he needs to.
Ganon's complaining about being surrounded by incompetent fools. He doesn't know his minions gave us the spoiler log. He'd probably be even more upset.
Yes, to go along with chat, you are absolutely correct. Looks like he was going for the stun prize, which you just saw was 5 arrows. And that information, along with tree pulls, is also in the spoiler log, so players can also have that at their disposal.
The armor upgrades were, as our trackers pointed out, in the GT Random Room and Zora Ledge.
Yeah, I was actually quite curious to see if either runner would pick up the armor upgrade because it wasn't random.
Papabell is having some difficulty with these arrow shots.
Alright, I think some more arrows here, is that correct? Under the
Good. Okay, it didn't despawn this time. Awesome.
Alright, 4 mimics down for coolpapabell.
Oh, and Oase takes a death to Ganon. Ouch.
Was that a fire bird? A fire bat?
I'm not. I think it might have been a Ganon hug, but I was kind of staring at mimics for a moment there, so I missed it.
It's amazing what 4 eyes can't catch.
Oh, fire bat at point blank. Ouch.
I certainly have to commend both these runners. You know, so I think there have been at least one death on both sides, or you know, some like maybe running mishaps or something. The fact that these runners basically acted as if like nothing happened and just kind of went on to basically execute, you know, just as the way that they would have, right? Like top tier. I mean, it really is a testament to, you know, their endurance and their experience, and you know, just like how well they can keep their cool in moments of despair. Hey, did you find the silver arrow from the light world? Well, you're not wrong about them being in the light world. I'll say, getting the torch glitch very nicely here. Probably just need a few more spins. Meanwhile, coolpapabell is taking on Landmo 2. Alright, that is Ganon down for Oase. He needs to wait for the fanfare and then cross that bridge, and then we can crown a winner for this race. I mean, what a race!
Indeed. And get your GGs in chat. Oase finishes with an official SRO time of 1 hour, 23 minutes, and 57 seconds.
GG's to Oase. As you remember from some of his boss fights, there is a reason why he is probably one of the best in the world for NMG. Rando, for that matter.
And just clarifying, the official SRL time of 1 hour, 23 minutes, 57 seconds does include the 15 minutes of study time. I forgot to mention that part.
Right, so we did see Cool Papa Bell using the fake powder, as a mushroom, in a very clutch moment here to refill his hearts. Man, it's just like he has really displayed like an amazing amount of resourcefulness here in this entire run. Right, molder him down for Cool Papa Bell on its way to. Okay, we're gonna get the chest. We are gonna get an 11th heart. So we are going to see the same patterns here for Aga 2 that Oase had. So let's see if Cool Papa Bell, that it looks like at least a double. I'm not sure if it was a triple. Maybe it was a double then. One more hit.
And Cool Papa Bell starts his Ganon fight. We are checking. Sorry, we are checking to see if we can get Oase in here for an interview. Hang tight.
Certainly not often you get to see a gold sword Ganon here. It's really for runners of this caliber. They're able to get one cycle Ganons without the gold sword, but certainly it's kind of like a nice quality life improvement health. See Cool Papa Bell getting his lamp out, so perhaps he wants to get torch codes without the fire rod, maybe just an extra safety. Oh, that was a sneaky fire bat. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That was, I thought he was going to fall. But Cool Papa Bell managed to stay on the platform, which is one of the most important things. Good thing he had the blue potion too. That was a very nice kind of safety there. I don't think Ganon would have teleported around on top of him to kill him, but certainly peace of mind is very important here to finish out the fight. All right, with that, Cool Papa Bell has defeated Ganon. He also just needs to cross this bridge, and then we can get an official finish time for him as well.
And Cool Papa Bell's official time, including the study time for the spoiler log, is 1 hour, 29 minutes, 37 seconds. GG's to both our runners. We're going to get them in here for an interview right now.
Looks like we are joined both by Oase and Cool Papa Bell. GG's, guys, on an amazingly great match to watch.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah, thanks. GG's.
Any initial thoughts about the seed when you guys, first opened up the spoiler log?
I don't know. It was a pretty standard seed. I don't think I hated it.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad to route. I mean, when you search for the gloves first thing and you're like, okay, I guess I'm doing Aga then, at least you know right up front.
Yeah, so I mean, so certainly you guys look like you had some, well, I guess early in the Light World you guys had almost no divergence, but then after, I think you guys, after a bit, you guys did have quite a bit of divergence. Oase, I think you ended up chasing the boots a lot earlier than Cool Papa Bell. I guess, like, what was your kind of like reasoning for that?
Well, I think I play better with boots than just moving around, walking. And I don't know, I still had to go up to the mountain to get the second gloves, so it didn't seem bad to do it, like to go straight for the boots. Because I needed another sword, which was in Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, it certainly seemed like, yeah, like that you were, I guess, like maybe grinding more equipment or like firepower, so you can get the boots, you're getting more swords before you can like dive dungeons. As opposed to, I think you could Papa Bell. I think it seemed like you were diving dungeons a lot faster or a lot sooner, and then you didn't end up going up to the mountain until like much later, at least to get the boots.
Yeah, I was going back and forth on the boots a lot. And when Mushroom was going to be on the path and I could just never go to Ice Rod Cave, that sort of clinched it for me. So then it was like I wanted to do Swamp right away to go ahead and get the couple extra hearts that were in there. And if I had just done Mini Moldorm Cave right after Swamp, everything would have been fine. But
okay, so Oase, I have two questions for you, two specific questions for you, both in terms of your dungeon bosses. Dungeons. So one is when you went to go beat Landmo 1, you had quite a bit of good equipment, including Fire Rod, and I believe at that point Temper Sword, and yet you chose to grace us with a bow Landmo. Please tell us why you decided to do that.
Well, I didn't have magic for the fire because I remember I had to enter Mire and go to the torches, like the chest that is behind the torches, and I just mirror out. So I didn't. I had like I used 5 fire rod shots, and I think I missed one, so I had to use another one. So I had only 2 magic bars. So I just swapped to the lamp, and I decided to just do bow Landmo, and I think it went well because I got a 2 cycle again, I think.
You know, most people are pretty happy with like any number, like any small number. Like I think your bar or your standard of 2 cycle is quite high. Really, I mean, really just goes to show you, like I think how well you practice here. I mean, you are obviously a very good MMG runner. And oh yeah, so the other question I had, I guess maybe for both of you. So when you guys got to Ice Palace, you routed actually quite differently. In particular, Oase, I think. Well, you were going the more traditional route of doing, I guess, Ice Palace bomb jump until you didn't have bombs and then you just hovered over. Or I think Cool Papa Bell did Icebreaker. Any particular thoughts for why you guys did that?
Okay, that was very specific because, like, in the second room of Ice Palace, I had to use an extra fire shot, which means I was down 2 fire shots, and you only the only magic that is on the way, if you do Icebreaker, are the two before Colster. So I'm still gonna miss magic because I have to use magic for the cane. So I decided to go and do just regular Ice Palace, like the old Ice Palace, I guess. But then I realized I didn't have bombs. Or I had bombs, but I messed up at the Stalfos room. So I had to hover that. That was funny. But yeah, that was the reason I didn't go right side Icebreaker, because the penguins were not in the what's it called, the prize pack for magic. They were bombs, so I had no way to get magic if had I done Icebreaker, and I didn't have bombos at that time, so I was gonna be short on magic for Colster.
Yeah, and since I did have bombos, I just wasn't too worried about it. So yeah, I just went ahead and did the standard thing. So
It's fun.
didn't even think too hard about it going in.
I was gonna say, like, so I guess like the standard now is Icebreaker, right? It's not even Ice Palace Bump Jump anymore. But I mean, like, yeah. So like, Oase, your congratulations on your Zero Cycle Argus. That was very impressive to watch. It's really very difficult to get as well.
Yeah, a little easier with Gold Sword because you don't have to do the hook dash, but still, you need the timing for it.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I should have done Swamp Palace later, because I did it right after Hype Cave, because I didn't really think coming back with Tempered later was worth the extra trip, but maybe if I could Zero Cycle, it would have been. So, well done on that one.
One, I have to commend you for your mushroom resourcefulness, coolpapabell. That was, I mean, that was amazing. Oh, so Ase, I don't, if you weren't watching the stream, coolpapabell, what he did was he got the mushroom off of Lambo, and then he didn't end up ever going to Ice Rod Cave, getting the powder, and he just fake powdered his entire way through. He fake powdered the anti-fairies at the top of GT, and he fake powdered his way to get the fire rod. That was amazing.
Nice.
Yeah, I didn't really plan the one in GT. I was just like, oh, I'm out of magic, and also out of health, so this seems like a good idea.
Yeah, certainly. You guys, I think, put on some, like both your execution and your routes. I think, we're certainly, really, really excited to watch back and forth. I think both of you probably had a little bit like of a hiccup. Yeah, like I mean, just like a few, small like missteps along the way. I think maybe Oase, when we first noticed, you probably had like 5 trips off of Death Mountain at the very beginning because I think you forgot to boost the first time or the
that was something I
something.
almost forgot. Yeah.
Oh, it was just kind of amusing on our
Also,
side.
I went to Skullwoods without the fire rod.
Yeah, but I think I'm trying to think for coolpapabell. I think maybe like the major difference was just like after Rossi got the boots, he was just able to move a lot faster. And just kind of like basically go through like dungeons a lot faster as well. So that probably was going to be like the main difference. But I guess like probably have to watch the bout back a little bit more to see.
Yeah, because I had already routed in, I'd already done Swamp Palace before I could even get the boots, so I was sort of thinking like I don't have that many dungeons left to do, so maybe it would have been smarter overall to leave Swamp Palace until later and get the boots, I don't know. The worst thing though was not having the invincibility item on my way up to Spike Cave, because I should have just gotten Cane of Burna out of Mini Moldorm that I had to go to anyway, and then I screwed up Spike Cave once I got there and just kind of went downhill from there.
I do think you guys both kept your cool. I certainly, I guess maybe the mountain was just bad luck for you, also, because I think you tried to go to Spike Cave early as well, without the glove or the camera. Well, we were wondering why there were so many trips up the mountain for you, but it's all good. But I think yeah, coolpapabell, you also took. Oh yeah, you did. When you were in Spike Cave, I think, did you just not realize the cave activated too like a little later than normal, or you just...
I mean, I was just hoping I could get it in time, which I knew I couldn't. I should have just used the blue potion, and then I think I would have just barely made it. But wasn't really thinking straight at that point.
I mean, so like, if you guys either of you on tilt, I don't think it really like showed like in execution. So certainly have to commend you guys both for for keeping it cool, especially like even like little things, right? Can kind of throw you off your game. I didn't think it did that for either of you guys. So you guys are like really put on like a really great show for us. Thank you so much for running this.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for the restream and commentary and everything, and thanks to trackers as well. We always appreciate the publicity here.
Yeah, I pretty much monetized the interview. Ricky, do you have anything to say?
Oh, that's totally fine. I'm terrible at interviews. That's why I go quiet during them. It's so much better with just one person talking to the two runners. So no, that's fine. I guess the only question, and it's not really a question, it's just more of a comment about oase spending a lot of time on Death Mountain. Having to go back for those boots. But I mean, I've done that so many times myself. I know what it's like.
I think I also went to the I think it was Bombo's tablet without the book.
Right. Wanted to get those silvers, but the book was in GT.
Yeah,
I don't know why I thought I had it.
I was planning on it, but I remembered I didn't have the book as I was beating Argus, so I remembered about 10 seconds earlier.
All right, and with that, any last words, Bell or oase28?
Not really. I guess thank you for the restream.
All right, and thank you so much for putting on an awesome race. It was a joy to watch. Thank you, Clear Mouse, for commentating with me. It was awesome. Thank you, Vince Easter, for tracking for us. Did a fantastic job there. This, according to the schedule, this was the last match of this week in the spoiler tournament. But we're going to get the next week rolled up, and races will start being scheduled pretty darn soon. So keep an eye out for that. I hope you all had a great time watching. Have a fantastic day. Bye.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Thanks again. GG's.
Hey.